Toastmaster was founded by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley in 1924. He believed that we should work on two aspects. We should work on our leadership skills and our communication skills. The handsome gentleman in the picture is Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, and he's wishing us for better speeches. Next slide, please. And Toastmaster has penetrated Brunei Darussalam, and there's 4 total clubs here. The first being UBD Toastmaster Club every Monday, 7:30 p.m., followed by Brunei Speakers Club, which is us, every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. And then Authors Toastmaster Club every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. And last but not least, Brunei Advanced Speakers Club every first Friday of every month. On the slide there's QR codes, which will lead you to their individual Instagram pages. Next slide, please. For online meetings, we do have some guidelines to follow. If you haven't done so, please rename yourself according to what's stated on the slide. If you are a role player today, start with your role, followed by your name, and then your Toastmaster title. If you come from a different club, start with your club, your name, and then your Toastmaster title. And if you are a guest, type it guest, followed by your name. And of course, there are house rules to ensure the quality of the meeting. The first and foremost is to be polite and respectful towards each other. No taboo topics such as sex, politics, and religion. As to not disturb the speakers when they are speaking, please keep your mic on mute. Only unmute when you are called upon or when it is your turn to speak. And because we're on mute, we cannot hear each other clap. So instead, give jazz hands to show your support for the speakers, role players, and maybe just because. Next slide, please. To get into the spirit of Toastmaster, let's recite together the Toastmaster mission. I will lead this recital in 3, 2, 1, to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Thank you, everyone. I saw some of you are reading along. That's great. And Brunei Speakers Club mission is to communicate with conviction and confidence. Next slide, please. If you do decide to join Toastmasters, we will introduce you to our own educational pathways. And those choices are different for each individual, which will cater to your individual needs. I myself am taking up presentation mastery. Next slide, please. If you need to know more about pathways, you may ask our Vice President of Education, which is also our Toastmaster of the evening, Megad Arif, or you can also contact our President, Shahnur Nizam. Megad, Shahnur, give a wave so that everyone can see you. Yep, there they are. Now, before we actually start the meeting, may I please invite some guests to introduce yourself and maybe some expectations for tonight's meeting? May I please invite our first guest, Kirsty. Kirsty, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Kirsty. I'm 17 years old, just finished O-level a few months ago. And because right now I have lots of free time, so I decided maybe I should check this meeting out because I want to improve my speaking skills. And yeah, it's quite interesting. Because in Instagram, I saw lots of topics which are very interesting and well, it's very eye-opening to a lot of people. So I figured that this is a good way for me to increase my knowledge somehow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kirsty. Everyone, jazz hands for Kirsty. She is probably one of our youngest guests to have graced our club. Kirsty, great job. Yes, it is an eye-opener, but we can clearly see that you already have an open mind and an open heart. will gladly, will glad, we are glad, we are glad to have you here tonight. Next, may I please invite our second guest, Jai. Jai, please introduce yourself.
Hello, good evening. I'm Jia Yi, and I'm 20 years old this year. I would just like to prepare myself for uni, so I would like to join this Toastmaster to improve my speaking skills and also to better communicate in English. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jai. Yes, you are very, very right, because in any relationship, whether it's friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, with universities, or with your lecturers, your course mates, and any relationship, period, it's all about communication. And I am trying to work out with my communication skills with my girlfriend, because all we talk about is, where are you going to eat? What are we going to eat today? It's every day like that. And I'm trying to better myself as well with Toastmaster. Right, enough personal rambling on. Let's pass the mic and the floor and the screen to our Toastmaster of the evening, Magad Arif. Just hands, everyone.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guest people of all ages. How are you guys doing tonight? I hope the New Year's has been doing good for everyone. Right? It's 2022 already. So we have a lot of improvement that we want to make. There's a lot of improvement that we can do using the Toastmasters platform. Now, without further ado, I'll introduce myself again as Magad Arif. I am the Toastmaster of the evening. Benefit to the guest, Toastmaster of the evening is actually the host for the meeting itself. So I will be responsible to guide you through the whole meeting tonight. Now, with that being said, let me introduce my role players for tonight. Zoom Master, thank you. As the someone who opened up the meeting today, we have our Sergeant at Arms, which was Adlan Murshid, and the ones who's controlling the slides tonight, we have Lawrence. Oh, Lawrence, can you show yourself? Don't be shy. Everyone wants to see the Zoom Master. We're gonna highlight you tonight as well. All right, thank you. Now, next, let me introduce my first role player for tonight, which is the Table Topics Master, Persuasive Influence Level 4, Strategic Relations Level 1, Shahnur Nizam, to introduce his role as the Table Topics Master. Shahnur, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Magad Arif, for the warm introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In Toastmaster, one of the skills that we are learning and trying to improve is the ability to speak off the cuff, which is the ability to speak whenever someone presents a topic that you'll be able to answer it. So as a table topic master, my responsibility is to give out table topic questions to the volunteers who will be attempting these random sets of table topic. Nobody knows except me what will be the table topics are. So no one is rehearsing this question. That will be delivering the speech off the cuff. So in Toastmaster, we are practicing on how to improve on our impromptu speaking skill by attempting table topic. So I will be calling upon the guests and also the member to try table topic in this table topic session. And looking forward for this session. That back to you, Mugat.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master Shahnur Nizam. Now, ladies and gentlemen, especially our guests tonight, Christy and Jai, please take up the table topics table topic session tonight. I know that you want to improve yourself in terms of maybe public speaking or communication or your thinking skills. So this is the platform. I need to encourage both of you to take the table topics tonight. Is it okay? All right. Now to tag team with the table topics master, we have the table topics evaluator. Pleased to introduce Dynamic Leadership Level 1, Salman Tahir, to introduce his role as the Table Topics Evaluator. Salman Tahir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Megat. Good evening, everybody. Yes, my role tonight will be as the table topic evaluator. So what is the role of table topic evaluator? Well, basically, as we all know, Toastmasters is a peer-to-peer learning platform. So those courageous volunteers tonight who will step up and give impromptu speeches of the mysterious topics that our table topic master has prepared, that, as he mentioned, that nobody in the world except him knows. So these impromptu speeches, I'll be observing them, noting down some things, and trying to share any feedback that I could have. And yeah, that's it. That is my role tonight. So feel free to take part in these impromptu speeches, table topics, and I will see you at the next part of the meeting. Thank you. With that, back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Salman Tahir, for introducing your role as the Table Topics Evaluator. See, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters is a learning platform. If you take a Table Topics tonight, you'll be having a feedback. You'll be receiving a constructive feedback, and you will learn a lot from tonight just by taking up the Table Topics. All right, thank you, Salman. Next, we have our grammarian. Now, ladies and gentlemen, especially the members of Toastmasters Brunei, I would love everyone to have a very warm welcome to our newest member who is encouraged enough to take up her first ever role in a Toastmaster meeting. Can we have a jazz hand for Toastmaster Alia Inshira to introduce her role as the grammarian? Hey!
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and valuable guests. I, Alia, will be your grammarian for the evening. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers and listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuses of the English language, as well as any intriguing words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day, which is daunting.
Zoom master, please.
An adjective, the definition would be seeming difficult to deal with an anticipation. The synonym would be intimidating, and an example of the word would be the soldier was assigned a daunting task, or these are daunting statistics, yet they point to one potential solution to this crime. Yeah, okay. So each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day, and I will be giving the word of the day report and grammatical errors identified throughout the meeting. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alia Inshira. There was a lovely introduction for the grammarian role, and daunting is our word of the day tonight. Tonight is a daunting night for me because we are surrounded by much young people. I feel so young at heart. All right, thank you, Toastmaster Alia Inshira. Next, we have our counter and who said what. We have coming all the way from Otters Toastmaster, Dynamic Leadership Level 2, Adina Biden, to introduce her role as the R counter and who said what. Adina Biden, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Magad and Brunei Speakers Club. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Our counter is actually someone who counts all the filler words and sounds. So as, and usually we use this word or sound when we are thinking or when we're feeling a lot nervous or we're not actually sure what we would like to say. So as an out counter, I will help you identify how many and when potentially you use it so that you can use it less. So it may sound a little bit daunting for some of you to not have any ahs and ums, but hopefully we will be able to keep improving and reducing that as we go along tonight. The second part of my responsibility is around who said what, and I will be actively listening to everyone tonight and take note of all the interesting information, and we'll ask you a couple of questions to see who else are also actively listening with me. Anyway, back to you, Magat.
Thank you so much, Adina Biden. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have to watch our filler words, our counter, our But when Adina said that doesn't sound like a filler word. That sounds more like Yes, Adina, we understand what you're trying to say. Thank you, Adina, for your introduction and the counter. And who said what? Next, we have our timer and tip. Again, one of our newest member in BSC as well. A round of applause for Toastmaster Mariam Anwar to introduce her role as the timer and tip. Mariam, the floor is yours.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left. My background color will change to green, yellow, and red, which denotes specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remark to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, the background will change to green. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, the background will change to yellow, and 2 minutes, the background will change to red. A heads up for the table topic speakers. Any speakers that exceed the time 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will unmute myself and say time's up. For the prepared speeches, it should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. 5 minutes, the background will change to green. At 6 minutes, the background will change to yellow, and 7 minutes, the background will change to red. For the individual evaluations, should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, the background will change to green. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the background will change to yellow. And at 3 minutes, the background will change to red. For the table topics evaluation and general evaluator should be between 3 and 4 minutes. At 4 minutes, the background will be green. At 3 minutes, 30 seconds, the background will be yellow. And at 4 minutes, the background will be red. For all the evaluators, if the time is exceeded more than 30 seconds after the background changes to red, the evaluators will not be eligible for voting. Sorry. For the timer tip, I will only start the time when you start speaking. If you see the yellow background, slow down to wrap up your speech or report. Thank you, Magat. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam Anwar. Toastmaster Mariam Anwar, are you feeling nervous tonight? You sound like a newscast reporter doing a live TV news. Okay, she's away. She's not listening to me.
Yes, it's a long script.
Relax. We're gonna have a chill and enjoyable, fun, educational tonight. All right, no worries. Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam, for the precise and concise introduction of the timer and tip. Now, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, we have our final role player tonight, which is the general evaluator. Let us invite presentation mastery proficient, team collaborator level 2, the fallen angel, Madam Lai Ling Ling, to introduce her role as the general evaluator. Ling Ling, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. My God, I could get used to this being called the fallen angel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the general evaluator tonight. Now, what does that mean? You can see that everyone has a role in this meeting. And as the meeting goes on, we will try our best to perform it to the best of our abilities. But there's always something to improve, and that's where I come in as a general evaluator. I'll be keeping an eye throughout the proceedings of the meeting and taking note of what were the things we do well and should keep doing, as well as what can we improve on little by little. And later on during the third part of the meeting, I'll facilitate an evaluation session where we will bring forward all these findings and reports, we'll present to the audience, and we'll hopefully all learn from each other. I hope that we all can walk away tonight with so many things to learn, and I really look forward to everyone's performance tonight. That's all from me. Back to you, Magat.
Thank you so much, Ling Ling, for the introduction of the general evaluator. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's all on our role players tonight. Zoom Master, can I have the next slide, please? Okay, next slide. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please let me share what is going on for tonight, the agenda for tonight's meeting. We will start our table topics very, very soon, and then we'll be followed by our prepared speech. Tonight, we have a prepared speech done by Toastmaster Adib Talib will be attempting his level 1 part 3 research and presenting, and his topic will be morning routines. In the mean, we will have our break at 8:10, 10 minutes, and then we will finalize our meeting tonight with our evaluation session. Now, thank you, Zoom Master. Next slide, please. Now, before we proceed with the table topic session, it is one of my tasks tonight to share my thought of the day. So, Master, next slide, please. This is something that I come upon the last few days, actually during New Year's itself. So this is a quote by Samuel Smiles. So he is an author and a Scottish author in the 18th century. He said that the secret of happiness, what is that? Enjoy small pleasures. Now, why did I come upon this particular quote that night? Because I was Googling how to make myself happy. Don't lie, everyone. I think you have Googled this before. We always try to find things or event or people to make us happy. And we always have those big dreams that we want to achieve by the end of the year, 2022. But correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the time, what we dream, we fail to do it because we have a big dream. And when we fail to achieve our big dreams, it's always a daunting experience. It's always a daunting life, we can say. And it's not good. It makes us not happy a lot of the time, all the time, and it's not good. So why I want to share this quote with everyone is because we forgot that sometimes we forget about those little things that makes us happy. For example, like coming into Toastmasters meeting every Tuesday, Monday, or Wednesday. Those little things that can make people laugh, those little things where you talk to your Toastmasters members, they make you smile. These little pleasures, these small pleasures, is actually the secret of happiness. We do it once in a while, once in a blue moon. One small pleasures, little pleasures, actually the secret of happiness. We can dream big, but try to remember our small steps. And with that said, I hope everyone can resonate with this quote tonight. Enjoy the small pleasures that we have in our life. Thank you so much, Zoom Master. Can we proceed with the next slide, please? Now, without further ado, I will pass the floor to our table topics master presentation, persuasive influence level 4, strategic relationship level 1, Shahnur Nizam. Shahnur, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much again, Megat. Table topic is a daunting thing to attempt. In hindsight, that's how we improve as a speaker. So without any further ado, I would like to call upon our first volunteer, which is Adlan. Adlan, would you like to volunteer and try table topic? Okay,
Yes, I would.
okay, Adlan, what I really like about him is his opinion. So this is something that I want to listen from him. The question for you, Adlan, what is the worst piece of advice you have ever received? What is the worst piece of advice you have ever received? Adlan Murshid.